Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial by Zebra Code. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to download and install the Windows Subsystem for Linux WSL on Windows machines. I will be installing it on Windows 10 operating system. The process may be similar for Windows 11 and other versions of Windows that meet the requirements. But before we do the installation, let's look at some reasons why you would want to install Windows Subsystem for Linux on your Windows operating system. There are many reasons why you would want to do that. With WSL, you can develop your application without dual boot or using virtual machine environments. With WSL, you can use both operating systems at the same time. In other words, you don't need the Linux operating system separately and the Windows operating system separately. You can use both at the same time. WSL allows you to run Linux operating system along Windows operating system, both of them at the same time. It bridges the gap between the Linux operating system and the Windows operating system. With WSL, you can run Linux command line features and applications on your Windows platform, which is great. WSL also allows Windows compatibility layer for Linux operating system. These are some of the reasons why you would want to install WSL on your Windows operating system. In my case, I have a dual boot on this computer, so for me to use the Linux environment, I will have to switch from Windows to Linux, and for me to use Windows, I will have to switch from Linux to Windows. In that case, I don't have the ability to use both of them at the same time, but with WSL, you can use both operating systems at the same time. Here are some tasks that we are going to implement during this video. First, we will check system requirements for the WSL installation for Windows. We will enable some features that are required for WSL. We will install WSL. We will install Linux distributions on our Windows operating system. And finally, we will run some Linux commands on our Windows operating system. So for you to be able to install WSL on Windows 10, 11, or any version of Windows, you would need to meet some requirements. The basic requirements to install WSL are listed here. These requirements are from the official website. On Windows 10, you will need Windows 10 version 2004 and higher, with build 19041 and higher, or simply on Windows 11. Now, let's check first to see whether our system meets these requirements. To check that our system meets the requirements, in the search area of your computer, type in system information, and this will come up. Click on it. Great. This page will open, and check the version here to see that it meets the requirement. Mine says here build 19045. Check what yours is and make sure that it meets the minimum requirement. This is the version for my machine, and it meets this requirement. So I will go ahead now with the installation. I'll close this one. Now let's enable features for WSL. Now, in the search area of your machine, type in features. And this option will come up. Turn Windows features on or off. Click on it. Great. This page will open. Windows features. Scroll down. There are two features that we are going to turn on here. Look for virtual machine platform. Tick it, and look for Windows Subsystem for Linux, and tick it. Click OK. Now it is searching for required files. Be patient. Great. Now it says Windows completed the requested changes. Windows need to reboot your PC to finish installing the requested changes. That means you need to restart your computer. You can choose to restart now or don't restart. In my case, I will restart it. I'll click on Restart Now. Alright, now I have restarted my computer. Once you have restarted your computer, you can open the command prompt and run it as an administrator. To do that, I will type in the search area CMD, run as administrator. And now with the command prompt window open, let's run the command WSL. Hit enter. Great. And here it says Windows Subsystem for Linux has no installed distributions. And it shows here that distributions can be installed by visiting the Microsoft Store. This link here. Now let's run this command WSL space -- update. Hit enter. And now it says installing Windows Subsystem for Linux. This might take some time. Be patient. Great. Now it has completed the installation process. Now it says Windows Subsystem for Linux has been installed. Now after the installation, let's check the version that was installed. To do that, let's run this command WSL space -- version. Hit enter. Great. Here it shows that WSL version 2.2.4.0 was installed. This is the version we have installed, and the kernel version is 5.15.153.1-2. And here it shows the Windows version that I am using. Yours might be different from this. Now let's check if we have any distributions installed or not. To do that, let's run this command WSL space -- list space -- online. Or you could run this one WSL space -l space -o. So they will both do the same thing, but I'm going to use the first one, which is WSL space -- list space -- online. Hit enter. Actually, let's run the WSL list first before we run the list online. I will cancel this one. Now say WSL space -- list. Hit enter. Great. Here it says Windows Subsystem for Linux has no installed distributions. Use WSL.exe list online to list available distributions, and WSL.exe install distro to install. And it says here distribution can also be installed by visiting the Microsoft Store at this link. You may get this error code. So to solve this problem, we need to do one of these suggested options. So in my case, I will use this one here, WSL list online. Hit enter. Great. Now it says the following is a list of valid distributions that can be installed. Installing using wsl.exe-install distro. So we have different options here now. We have Ubuntu, Debian, Kali, Linux, and so on. We have different versions for Ubuntu. Ubuntu 18.04, Ubuntu 20.04, Ubuntu 22.04, and Ubuntu 24.04. So which is the latest version? So I will go for this. And remember, the suggestion here says I can use this command wsl.exe space install the distro. So to do that, I can copy this command or type it up. I will just copy it. Now I will paste it here, space, and I'm going to install the latest Ubuntu, which is this one here. Copy it and paste it here. So I'm going to run this command now, wsl.exe space install space Ubuntu 24.04. Hit enter. Great, it is installing. This process might take some time. Be patient. It is installing. It says here this may take a few minutes. Be patient. Great. Now it says Ubuntu 24.04 LTS has been installed. And in the process of this installation, it's going to ask us for a username and a password. Let me move this one up a little bit. Here it says enter new Unix username. I will enter my username here now, my zebra code. Hit enter. And now it's asking for a new password. I will enter my password. For the Unix shell, when you type in your password, it doesn't really show, but it accepts it. I've entered my password. Now we hit enter. And it says retype new password. And now it says password updated successfully, installation successful. Great. Now everything was done successfully. And here it shows my username, my zebra code, and my laptop number. Great. Now we have successfully installed Ubuntu 24.04 on our Windows operating system. But before we start using it, let's quickly look at what we have installed so far. To do that, I will go to the Start menu of my computer. And here it shows Ubuntu 24.04 LTS and WSL installed. I can scroll down to check both. Here under letter U, I have Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. And here under letter W, I have WSL installed. So we have successfully installed both WSL and Ubuntu on our Windows operating system. Now let's start using the Linux operating system on our Windows platform. Alright, now we can start running Linux commands through Ubuntu on our Windows operating system. We can continue with this window or we open another window. But before we start running the command, here it says to run a command as administrator, user, root, use the sudo command. We will come to that later on. But first, let me move this one up a bit. All right, now I'm going to run the date command on this window. Exactly, it shows me today's date. This time, let's open a new window by launching Ubuntu. Go to Start. Now I will click Ubuntu 24.04, which we installed. And this launches a new window. Once again, that command, to run a command as administrator, as user root, use sudo. This time, let's start running some Linux commands on our Windows operating system. First, let's find out our user name, echo space $, user. Hit enter. Great. Here it says my zebra code. This was the username that we set when we were installing Ubuntu. Now I'm going to run this command, ls space /bin. Hit enter. Great. This gives me a list of Linux commands. Let's scroll up. It's a long list. So all these are Linux commands that we can use. We will use some of them in this tutorial. We won't be able to use all of them, of course. Here we have apt-get, apt-config, and so on. Nano. For example, the man command, we can use it to get more information about a particular command. Let's use it. Man bash. Hit enter. Great. It gives information about the bash command. Here it says name bash. You may be talking about bash or using bash or hearing about bash before, but what exactly does it mean? It means born again shell. So with the man command, we are able to get more information about the bash command. And now you need to quit this command. I'll press Q and it returns it to this one. Once again, you use Q to quit. Now we can also use nano. I'm going to type in here nano. I will say here, I love Linux. You can save it by using write out or exit. Nano is for Linux, just the way Notepad is for Windows as a default text editor. So I'm going to exit this page. That will be Ctrl+X, which is this one here. And it asks me, are you going to save modified buffer? Y for yes, N for no. I will say no. Now I am back to my terminal. Before we go further with this, I would like to let you know that the way we are using this terminal, we can also use the PowerShell to run it. I will go to my start menu and I type in PowerShell. PowerShell, run as administrator. Great, and this PowerShell window is open. Now let's type in this command, WSL, hit enter. Great, this takes me to my username, my zebra code on Ubuntu, and it is mapped to this directory C, Windows System 32. Now I'm going to enter this command, lsb_release space -a. Hit enter. Great, it shows that the release is 24.04, which is the Ubuntu version that I installed. The code name is Noble. Now I'm going to use the sudo command, sudo space apt space update, hit enter. Now it's asking for my password. I have entered the password for this user. It is doing the update. And here now it says all packages are up to date. So if there were any packages for me to upgrade, I would use the command sudo apt space upgrade. Since there are no packages for me to upgrade, so I won't run this command. So this tutorial was to show you how to install the Windows Subsystem for Linux WSL and work with the Linux operating system on the Windows platform. Thank you for watching. If you learned anything from this tutorial, remember to subscribe to this channel. Bye for now.